Hello again, everyone, and welcome back. My name is Tom Nelson. This is a continuation of the homeostasis video lesson series. This is part 13, fixing leptin and insulin resistance. What it comes down to is that the relationship between insulin signaling and leptin signaling are very closely related. If you fix one, you fix the other. So especially if you minimize inflammation. Minimizing inflammation increases leptin and insulin sensor sensitivity. So when insulin levels increase, the leptin levels will also increase. So the key is to limit the amount of insulin production. So don't overeat. That means smaller portions and all low glycemic index foods. Limit your caloric and carbohydrate intake to only what your body actually needs in order to function. And take every action possible to reduce inflammation throughout your body. We've talked about that in numerous videos. So the insulin-producing cells of the pancreas also have insulin receptors and leptin receptors. Leptin is a negative regulator of insulin release. So let's take a closer look at a normal body's reaction. You eat a meal. Your beta cells in your pancreas respond by producing insulin in proportion to the amount of glucose that was produced by that meal. So the insulin then stimulates the leptin production in your fat cells, and the leptin will go up, which triggers the hypothalamus to decrease your appetite, and the elevated leptin levels signal the pancreas to stop producing insulin. So you see how they work together. So let's take a closer look at a body's reaction during leptin resistance. You eat a very large meal. Your pancreas produces a very large insulin response. The insulin will stimulate a large amount of leptin production in the fat cells, which overwhelms the body. So as the leptin levels increase, the leptin resistance begins to set in. So the very high levels of leptin are going to seek to stop the production of insulin. However, the leptin resistance on the pancreas's cells is going to block that message. So the insulin levels become chronically high, which leads to insulin resistance. It's also important to note that the leptin plays a major role in the conversion of the T4 thyroid hormone into the active form, T3. Recall that T3 is the thyroid hormone that lights the fire in the power plants of every cell in your body. So when your brain senses the correct amount of leptin in the bloodstream, it signals the liver to convert more of the T4 thyroid hormone into the active T3 form. So if your brain perceives that you are in a survival mode, starvation mode, it's going to signal the liver to stop converting the T4 hormone into the T3 form of the thyroid hormone. And that is exactly what happens when you're in a leptin-resistant state. So as weight is lost, the amount of leptin in circulation is going to decline. You recall that your fat cells produce the leptin, and the more fat cells you have, the more leptin that's going to be produced. So as you lose weight, you're going to lose the amount of leptin that's in the system. So during weight loss, leptin is going to decrease energy expenditure, including a desire to engage in sex. Your body's temperature will decline, and there will be an increase in parasympathetic activity, which involves the regulation of your internal organs and glands, rest, digest, feed, and breed activities. So your body will react as if it had just eaten a huge meal. Taurine, which is an amino acid, the taurine supplements will improve leptin sensitivity. Taurine reduces leptin resistance by reducing the ER stress, the factories in your cells, the endoplasmic reticulum cellular factories, are going to be less resistant. So taurine is also known to increase insulin sensitivity and to reduce the risk of arteriosclerosis, which is the buildup of plaque in your arteries. So calcium supplements and dietary calcium reduce leptin resistance. Acetyl L-carnitine, which is also an amino acid, also known as LCAR, is also known to reduce leptin resistance. Omega-3s also reduce inflammation throughout the body, which helps. Studies have shown that sleep patterns are vitally important. Too little sleep increases leptin levels, and as will poor sleep patterns. So sleep apnea significantly increases leptin levels. The set point of the body's weight can be adjusted downward or upward slowly over time. Despite being obese, over a short period of time, their weight will remain stable due to this homeostasis process. So now go to homeostasis part 14, how your hypothalamus manages hormones. Thank you for watching this video, and please pay it forward.